Hi, I'm Shane Phillips, the CEO of the Phillips Group, and we're here at the HR Summit in Expo, the #1 HR event in the Middle East, and I'm here with Dubois du Bellay, who is the Chief Human Resource Officer for Jumeirah Group. Welcome, Ellen.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. So what do you see as some of the interesting HR trends that are unfolding before us?
One of them is that HR data. I mean, data is everywhere. Data analytics are really important. But what I think we need to see is how data is used in HR. HR has access to a lot of data, but I don't really think HR knows what to do with it or how to translate it into action. So one of the trends is certainly data analytics, but one of the things I think we need to do differently is find a way to translate those analytics into real work. One of the other areas I think that's really important is learning and development. Obviously, it's my passion, it's my background, but I'm sort of, I guess, a little bit despondent about the whole learning and development field. I do believe that we've gone a little bit too far in thinking that learning and development really does change behaviour. I've yet to see it do so in all of my experience, even though I've written my fair share of learning programs. But you know, if you think about all the variables that are important, and learning and development vendors and managers say that it's about changing behaviour, but really, if you don't have the right candidate, the right content, the right facilitator, the right environment, and the right time, and the right follow-up to make a habit, you know, out of it, there's very little change of behaviour that can happen. There's just too many things that have to happen at the same time. So I think what we need to do in the HR field is determine that learning and development is about engagement, it's about communication, it's about sharing information. It can help you with your culture, but it's really not going to markedly change behaviour. Most organisations spend all their learning dollars at the top, and I would spend it all at the entry-level manager. That's where I think you can manage those variables a little bit to get a better outcome, but otherwise I think the industry needs a little bit of a look at itself.
So you're saying investing in the entry-level training and development where you feel that you have the best opportunity to change behavior,
Correct.
But at the top of the organization, you can't change the behavior, which then kind of leaves you with only one option if you're not able to change the behavior.
I know you're a CEO assessor, so I'm sure that's a bit of a, you know, it's a bit controversial, but I think that when you're at the top of an organization, it's your job to actually teach yourself. It's your job to learn things. It's your job to expose yourself to new ideas. It's your job to go out and get it. And I think organizations find it very difficult to determine what that is, what that looks like for a group of people at the senior level. And so, you know, I just think that all of the money in most learning and development budgets goes to the senior level where it should go
lower down. One of the guests we had on earlier was you know, the dialogue was in terms of changing behavior, what you're really doing is changing the person's identity, changing their beliefs and values, and their identity is what drives the behavior change.
Which is why it's so hard.
Right, and so I guess as you get older, your identity becomes a bit more concrete and harder to move. Yeah. I don't know if this is something that you would echo in your experience.
Yeah. And so the learning at that level has to be so powerful. And it has to actually push you out of your comfort zone. And most organizations are not willing to do that to their CEO. You know, they don't do it. So for, you know, all sorts of reasons. So then it needs to be pitched at the right level. So at the senior levels, it needs to be so cutting edge and so profound and so quick. And I think that, you know, it's very hard to determine what you need versus the person next to you at that level.
Well, this is a huge topic. We could spend all day together, and I know you're very busy, you're running a huge group, and just want to thank you for coming and sharing a quick insight into the future of HR and some of your own experience with us. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ellen. Thank you. That was Dubois du Bellay, the Chief Human Resource Officer for Jumeirah Group, and I'm your host, Shane Phillips from the Phillips Group, and we're at the HR Summit in Expo, the #1 HR event in the Middle East.